A lot of updates here to give you as we continue with this weather impact alert through the afternoon. Gusts all throughout the morning have been in the 35 to 50 mile per hour range. Even saw one location here in the Piedmont get even higher than that. It's cold too. Make sure you are bundled up. Highs going to be in the low 30s. I did want to share with you some new news that I have with you. It's actually a traffic advisory, excuse me. Benjamin Parkway is being closed right now in both directions on West Cornwallis Drive due to a downed tree and power line. So motorists are right now being encouraged to avoid this area and use an alternate route for travel. Again, this is closed right now, Benjamin Parkway in both directions at West Cornwallis Drive due to a downed tree and power lines. This is also happening at other locations all across really the state that we've been seeing all of these strong winds across the area. As we speak, I'm actually refreshing the Duke Energy outage map to kind of see where we're seeing the most outages. I've seen a couple thousand across parts of Forsyth County into Wilkesboro too, Winston-Salem about 1,000, just over that in some locations too, 2,000 over toward Durham too, likely from the winds as well that we've been seeing all throughout the morning. So going to continue as we head into this afternoon. It is going to be cold too, with highs only in the low 30s. Well, we're going to be feeling like the teens and lower 20s into this afternoon. Be prepared in case of any isolated power outages. We've already seen several, so just a heads up right now to make sure you stay prepared and have your devices all charged up and ready to go just in case, because it's going to stay windy for the next bit into the afternoon and evening when it starts to die down. A look at the winter radar. Hey, we're nice and dry though. At least we got some sunshine, some earlier flurries. Let's look at some of the wind reports over in western parts of the state. I've seen some pretty impressive gusts so far. Here near Wilbar, there was a 48 mile per hour gust over toward Boone. And Aho, I hope I'm saying that correctly, it's 62 miles per hour. That is quite the gust as well. Over in Wagoner, 58 miles per hour. So some very, very strong winds. Temperatures right now hovering at or just below freezing. 30 in Reedsville, 32 in Greensboro. Feels like 19 in Burlington. And look over toward our west above my head. Feels like 0 over in Jefferson. 3 right now in Boone. A current look at some of the wind gusts that we've seen across the area. We've maintained that 30 to 40 mile per hour range for a lot of us for the last couple of hours. It is very, very breezy. Anything outdoors that can get swept up, make sure it is put inside. That's for people that maybe still haven't put in some holiday decor. Maybe that's time to bring that in, or just outdoor toys that could possibly get thrown around too. 47 right now is the max wind gust I see on the map, but that's not the highest that we've seen. Burlington actually got up to 51 earlier this morning for a wind gust, and we still could see some pretty powerful wind gusts over the next few hours into the afternoon too. 58 is the highest on the map over toward Jefferson too. Now, if you particularly see any damage from the wind, or perhaps you have pictures or videos of trees falling, whether it be just in general or along power lines, feel free to text us those and send in your name, your location, as well as the timing of the photo too to 336-379-5775. Or if you have any questions for me about your particular neighborhood or when you expect these winds to die down, any weather questions that you have for me, you can send it to. Again, it's 336-379-5775. So as we jump into this afternoon, it's still going to be a bit windy and it's still going to be cold too, low to mid 30s. High winds have been impacting a lot of people all across our state. And why is that? Well, we just had a front sweep through the area and we're having high pressure build in behind it with two different systems. Well, you can obviously get kind of the collision there with wind that forms can be very, very strong, especially out behind a front. It's going to be windy this afternoon and evening, but dying down especially tonight and into Sunday. But you'll notice to our north, there is a chance of us seeing maybe a flurry or two into Sunday. I'm not really expecting it to be very impactful, but there is a shot of us seeing a little bit of snow. I know a lot of us are over the word at this point, but I think we're all kind of professionals with snow at this point, after these several weeks. A lot of our models continuing to show little flurries possible by around midday for tomorrow. So maybe you're traveling for the Super Bowl. Make sure you take it easy especially if you see a flurry or some of that snow coming down while you're out on the roadways. We do have that wind advisory in effect until 7 p.m. tonight, and that's for all of our area apart from Allegheny. That's a part of the high wind warning where gusts will exceed or get up to around 50 to 60 miles per hour, as they already have, but continuing into the afternoon too. So this is pretty serious. Some of the tips and tricks from the National Weather Service, bring in unsecured objects. Tree limbs could be blown down, and a few power outages may result. We've been seeing that all morning long. Winds this strong can also make driving pretty difficult too, especially for high-profile vehicles. So make sure you use extra caution. We'll be seeing these winds die down over the next several hours. By the time we step into the evening, especially by 3 or 4 o'clock, there go those winds back down to the 20s and into the 30s. Still going to be a little bit higher for more elevated areas, like over toward the mountains, but not nearly as high as we have been. We're also in for a warm up too. That was my next graphic. Was talking a little bit about this too. We are going to be warming up into next week. So if you're done with the cold, you're like me, you're ready for spring, you're done with the snow, then you can count on some warmer air coming into next week as well. I'm actually going to go see if anybody has any questions for me. And a lot of the questions have been on the timing of the wind and when it is going to actually move out of our area. Some people have sent in some videos of and pictures, and we really do appreciate that, of wind damage or house damage, even roof damage from some tree limbs falling from some of the wind as well. So it's been a pretty hectic morning. It's going to continue to be pretty breezy throughout this afternoon and into the evening ahead of dying down. So one more little shout out here. If you want to send any pictures or videos, you can text us to 336-379-5775. And that needs to include your name and your location and the time of the photo. And any weather questions you can also email there too, or text, you can text to that phone number. We are going to be warming up. I'll show you here your full 7-day forecast before letting you go on this update. Make sure you're being extra careful on the roads, especially it can be difficult to drive in really strong winds. Look out for those roads that might be closed off. Particularly, you know what I said, Cornwallis over there, they have that road closed. Make sure you go an alternate route there. Lower to middle 30s for today and tomorrow. We're clearing out. We're seeing those winds die down tonight. Could see some flakes into tomorrow afternoon. Low to mid 30s, not expecting it to be impactful though. We're going to be warming up a bit too by Tuesday and Wednesday. Low to mid 60s, we'll take it.